The next thing we're going to do is with a very small ladle, like a 2-ounce ladle, I'm going to do what is called tempering. We're going to incorporate a little bit of our scalded dairy mixture at a time while whisking. So if I were to pour all of this hot dairy right directly over these eggs, I would probably scramble my eggs. So I'm going to take just a little bit at a time. Try to avoid those big old vanilla pods. We want to keep those out. You could always strain it if you want. I don't want to lose any of those vanilla seeds, so I'm just going to go for it. And I am adding ladleful by ladleful while whisking or stirring. And what you want to do is make sure you feel some heat in the bottom of the bowl. The bottom of the bowl is actually starting to feel a little warm, which tells me I have tempered my eggs. I don't risk scrambling them. Now that I have successfully tempered my eggs, the next thing I'm going to do is just dump the rest of that scalded mixture into our egg and sugar. Remember, there were those vanilla pods in there with the vanilla seeds that I scraped out. Give this a quick stir, and we're going to go back on the flame. Because this is a cooked custard, or what is called a stirred custard, we need to put this back over a very moderate flame. Make sure you're in a heavy bottomed saucepan, and you're going to cook this until it reaches the magic number of 160 degrees. At that number, eggs actually start to form curds or set up. So you want to make sure you're not going to go too far. If you go too far, you're going to have scrambled eggs as your ice cream base, which we don't want at all. You can always use a little Insta-read thermometer to determine how hot your mixture is getting. I actually would much rather just use a wooden spoon. So as I'm stirring this, I'm going to test to see when this becomes what is called nappe. And that means it is at that magic number or very close to 160 degrees. So I've sanitized my eggs. Don't have to worry about that. And I'm also cooking this base to where it needs to be. What this base will do is actually coat the back of the spoon when it becomes nappe, and that's the easiest way to test. No need to use a thermometer. Just look for it to coat or stick to your spoon. It's best to use a wooden spoon for this because you're going to have a better idea if it's actually coating the spoon. The reason this is called a stirred custard is you need to stand here and stir the custard. No walking away to grab the phone, things like that. This is an important step. You do not want to walk away from this pot because if this custard sits too long, it's going to actually start to scramble the eggs in the spot where it has direct contact with my pan. Yes, my pan is nice and heavy, but again, eggs are really sensitive, and you want to watch and be very, very careful. So I can tell this started to thicken up very, very quickly. It does not give you much notice at all, so you need to be on top of it, keep your eyes open, and pull it off the heat as soon as you see it start to thicken up. I don't want it to stick in one spot, like I said, and start to scramble, and it can so easily happen at this point. I wanted to show you again what nappe means. It's coating the back of my spoon. I can draw a line through it, and it's holding a line. The stirred custard is exactly where it needs to be. You should always taste your custard at this point to see if you want to add a little more vanilla extract. You can always put your extract in at this point. I know I have plenty of vanilla flavor from those beans and pods that I used, so I'm good with that. Now I want to make, like I said earlier, half chocolate, half vanilla. I have 2 ice cream machines, so I'm going to spin one just as vanilla. You could always throw in fresh fruit, chocolate chips, any flavorings you want to throw into your ice cream, throw it in when it comes out of the ice cream machine. So let it spin, let it get to the consistency of soft serve, pull it out, fold in your fruit, your chocolate, whatever you like to throw into your ice cream, toffee, nuts, and then freeze it the rest of the way in your freezer. Don't take it too far in your ice cream machine. So I'm going to spin one just as vanilla, and I'm going to spin the other as lovely chocolate ice cream. All I'm going to do is pour out the amount that I want to reserve and keep as my vanilla. And for chocolate, it's as simple as using whatever chocolate you like. I'm using a very high quality 72% chocolate, so it's a really nice and bitter chocolate that's going to taste lovely in my ice cream. And I'm just going to throw in a handful into that really hot base. It's the perfect way to melt chocolate in hot liquid. I don't have to do it over a double boiler because it's nice and protected in that liquid. And I'm going to let it melt down. I'm going to give it a stir and take a look at it. And when it looks like it's the color I want it to be, as far as how dark or how light you like your chocolate ice cream, I'm going to stop adding chocolate. And I think I added just about the perfect amount of that bittersweet chocolate. As I stir those chocolate pistoles, it is coloring this ice cream base just beautifully. And it looks like exactly the color I like my chocolate ice cream to be. Beautiful. What could be better? My vanilla's ready, my chocolate's ready. Before you put it in your ice cream machine, whatever type of ice cream machine you're using at home, make sure you chill your bases. You can throw this bowl over a bowl of ice, let it cool that way, stir it often, or you can just throw it into the refrigerator uncovered, give it at least an hour or two to get cold, take it into your ice cream machine and spin it, like I said, until it looks like soft serve, and then it's ready to go into your refrigerator until it's nice and hard and scoopable. Classic vanilla ice cream.